Good day, sir. We are Group 2 of Coin 113L, and I'm Kayam Khan.
I am Dave De Ramos.
I am Elron Hinahon.
And I'm John Carlos Camaro. And today we are going to explain our project.
So for COI 113L, the professor gave us a problem wherein we're supposed to create an object-oriented program in the form of a game. So with that said, what is an object-oriented program? So as what I've learned, object-oriented program is composed of smaller programs that is incorporated into one main program. So with that said, the group actually decided to come up with a program entitled Unscramble. So what does it do? So the game is basically a game that is like text twisting games of the modern age. So what we did was a simpler version of it, wherein the user would actually be asked to input his name, and then he would be asked to solve a series of words that are scrambled, and then he has to guess the right word. So, as stated in the documentation for the project background, the group actually used a set of two classes. So one class for the name and the other class for the game itself. So we used one class for the name because the program would actually ask the user to input his name before anything starts. So that's what the name class is for, which would be later discussed by my groupmate. So the game class is actually it contains the codes for the game. So it would contain how the game looks, it contains how the game functions, it contains how the high score is computed, and then the number of trials that the player actually required before completing it. So, project functions. So, the game actually works by accepting only one player at a time. Then it would require as I've said before, the player to enter his name. And then it would go directly to the play phase, wherein a total of maximum number of 100 points could be attained if the player actually guessed the answer to the question correctly on his first try. But if he continues to get a wrong input, continues to put the wrong input every single time, it would actually deduct his points. It would actually deduct 5 points from 100 every single try. And then the player is also given the option to use the hint. So when the player actually wants to use hint, he just types hint, and then a series of words appears, giving him a bigger chance of actually succeeding in answering the program. So that is it. So my groupmate would discuss the codes for the program, and yeah, thank you.
In coding this object-oriented game called Unscramble, we decided to make two classes called name class and the game class. Other name class, we have the name.h, which is the header file of the class. It contains the public and private members of the class. And then under the main CPP, we decided to make a user-defined function called Jumbo that will contain all the arrays for the words and the hints. And under the class word jumble, or the game itself, we have four functions that will satisfy the game itself. First function is the jumble word. In this function, it literally jumbles the word or the constant characters into different place values. And then another function is called the introduce. This will output the welcome to word jumble, the enter name, and etc. And then another function called check guess. This will check if the user input hint, quit, or wrong answer or the correct answer. every hint or wrong answer, it will deduct minus 5 points to the total score of 100. And then another function is called run. This will implement the run method or the game
And then run
after
the
they
program.
introduce.
And here it shows a prompt that allows the user to input a name. I'll try to input name A. And it shows the jumbled word. So this time I'll try to use hint, which is minus 5. So it displays the hint. Now I'll try to input a wrong answer. So wrong answer is also minus 5. So again, I'll try to input a wrong answer. So this is minus 5 again. So this time I'll try to input the correct answer. So if you input the correct answer, it congratulates you and tells you how many times you've tried the program and your score and your total score. Time, I'll try to input the correct answer in one try. So I'll try to input name A, and without using hint, I'll input the correct answer. And there it is. It congratulates you and tells you you got the correct answer in one try and your score is another.
The project presented, though lacking in some means, still proved to meet the group's expectation by exploring topics such as function creation, classes, arrays, and STD usage. The list goes on. Thus, the project created is deemed to be a success. Though the program works properly, there are still things that can be further improved. They are as follows. First is the implementation of more classes. Second is the application of new codes. Third is to give it a better design. Fourth is to make it more visually enticing for a larger audience. And lastly, to give it a more variety of set to choose from.